Hari Hari. So I'm often asked about the yogyas, havans that I do. And people ask, oh, I'd like to see a demonstration to see how you do it and so on. Because I'm commonly asked to do these in yoga studios, kirtan events, even in people's home. Quite honestly, oftentimes that's actually when I'm most asked to do a yoga is at someone's home for an event or something like that, or for their own personal spiritual development. So sometimes people want to have a look at what it's all about beforehand. So finally, after several years, I'm making this demonstration, this video. Now it's going to be obviously compressed because yogyas can be upwards of 30 minutes and beyond depending on how much we get into it. I'm trying to squeeze this into 10-15 minutes. It's going to be heavily edited. And I'm also going to try to demonstrate two types of yogya or havan. But first let's talk about what a yogya is. A yogya is a samskar. A yogya is an offering, right? Typically, oftentimes a fire sacrifice, a fire offering using fire. But a yogya is not limited to only a fire yogya. There are many different types, but we're talking about fire sacrifice here. It is a samskar. Samskar means an impression. So what yogyas do is that they put an impression upon our consciousness of various energies which we want to have in our lives. That's what the purpose of a yogya does, to make these impressions upon our consciousness, to bring about various energies and facilitate these energies arising and developing in our life. That's what yogyas do, the purpose of a yogya. So when we go through this yogya, you're going to hear me mention or recite several mantras. These mantras are to bring these energies, offer them, if you will, into the fire so that they become impressed or realized within our consciousness and within our life. So I'll be chanting various mantras to bring out these energies. One very particular phrase you'll hear me repeat is swaha. Swaha, once you hear me see me repeat that, you'll see me put an offering into the fire. You're watching. Of course, if I had some live people here, they would be offering something into the fire. But you'll be watching. So in your mind, you can make an offering to the fire so that you get some benefits. So some impressions are made upon you, energetic impressions are made upon you, and these energies can come up in your life. The Bhagavad Gita talks about 4 things we can offer: leaf, flower, fruit, or water. So when you hear me say swaha and you see me put an offering into the fire, in your own mind, offer flowers into the fire. So the 2 yogyas I'm going to be doing are, the first is the Paratasarati yogya. That yogya originates from the Bhagavad Gita. We know Parata means Arjun, Sarati means chariot driver. Paratasarati is the name of Krishna because Krishna was Arjuna's chariot driver at the Battle of Kurukshetra, and that's where the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. At the end of the speaking of the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna to Arjuna, actually it was relayed by a saint, Saint Sanjaya. And at the end of that discussion, the Saint Sanjaya, he said to the person to whom he was speaking, he said, a person, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, there will always be 4 things: opulence, good fortune; victory and success; extraordinary power or influence; and morality or virtue, righteousness. So wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there will be these 4 things. So this is the yogya, the Paratasarati yogya that I'll be doing. One of them I'll be doing today, to bring these 4 energies into our life and impress them upon our consciousness so that we can activate and develop them. The second yogya I will demonstrate is the Radha Krishna Bhakti, Prem Bhakti yogya. This is to bring about the energies of bhakti, love, within our life. So we have Krishna, who is the divine masculine, if you will, and we have Radha, who is a divine feminine, and of course all the energies in between. So I'll be chanting some mantras to bring about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and then bring the two together in unconditional love or pure love, prem bhakti, and chant a mantra combining the two, thus giving rise to loving energy within our life. So these are the two yogis I'll be demonstrating today. Now everything you see here, everything I do has a meaning. I'm not going to explain it here because I'm trying to keep this demonstration a bit short. But everything you do, everything I see, every mantra you hear me chant has a very, very important and significant meaning. But just what I want you to focus on is the refrain swaha. Every time I chant swaha, you can actually chant it along with me, but certainly every time I chant it, I want you to, within your mind, offer flowers into the fire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the fire, I'm going to open the fire. Om sahana avatu sahana bhunaktu sahaviryam karuvavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Ata Purusho Havai Narayano Kamayata Prajasrijayate Manassaravendriyani cha Kambayurjyotirapah Prativi Vishvasya Dharini Narayanad Brahma Jayate Narayanad Rudra Jayate Narayanad Indra Jayate Narayanad Prajapatif Prajayande Narayanad Dvadasharitya Rudravasavassaravani Chandagumsi Narayana Deva Samutpadyante Narayana Pravaratante Narayane Praliyante Ya Evam Vedam Ityapanishate Atanityo Narayanahan Brahman Narayanahan Shivascha Narayanahan Shakrascha Narayanahan Kalascha Narayanahan Dishascha Narayanaha, Vidishascha Narayanaha, Urdhvascha Narayanaha, Adhascha Narayanaha, Antarbhahischa Narayanaha, Narayana Evedhagam Sarvam, Yadbhutayatcha Bhavyam, Nishkalanko Niranjano Nirvikalpo Nirakyataha, Shuddho Deva Eko Narayana Nadvitiyasti Kaschite Savishnureva Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Ityapanishate. So now I'm going to offer a quick puja to the fire itself. Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Agni Mele Purohitam Yagyasya Devam Hritvijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam Harihi Om Ishe Tvorjitva Bhayavasto Devavasvita Prarpayathoshtastathamahya Karamane Harihi Om Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, just switch this around a bit. So now, fire is here, Paratasarati, Radha Krishna, they are all now represented in the fire we have here. We've done some puja for them. Now we're going to start the yogyas itself. Again, this is first the Parata Sarati Yagya. This yagya is again to bring about 4 energies within our life, right? Opulence, victory, extraordinary power, influence, and virtue, morality or righteousness. Make sure this doesn't go out. Om Buddha Swaha Hairam Vishnavedam Namamam Om Bhuva Swaha Hairam Achitayedam Namamam Om Swa Swaha Hairam Narayanayeram Namamam Om Buddha Bhuva Swaha Hairam Anantayeram Namamam. Remember, every Swaha, I want you to, within your mind, make an oblation to, in this case, Paratasarati. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Paratasarathyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Partasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Partasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Partasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Partasartyairam Namamam. Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sometimes I must pause to tend to the fire, right? Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Partasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama Swahairam Parthasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Parthodhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitirmatir Mama. Swahairam Parthasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Parthodhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitirmatir Mama. Swahairam Parthasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Parthodhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitirmatir Mama. Swahairam Parthasartyairam Namamam. Om Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna Yatra Parthodhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitirmatir Mama. Swahairam Parthasartyairam Namamam. Om Bhur Swahairam Vishnavairam Namamam. Om Bhuva Swahairam Achyutayairam Namamam. Om Swahairam Narayanayairam Namamam. Om Bhurabhuva Swahairam Anantayairam Namamam. Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. So that was, in essence, and certainly abbreviated, the Parthasarthi Havan. There is much more to it, trust me. But now I'm going to demonstrate the Prema Bhakti Yogya to bring about Bhakti, pure love in our life. So again, mantras to first Krishna, divine, masculine, then to Radha, the divine, feminine, all the energies in between, then combining the two in the Bhakti Yoga mantra, and always offering oblations into the fire. Again, this is much abbreviated, but you will get the general idea. Om Bhura Swahairam Vishnavairam Namamam. Om Bhuva Swahairam Achyutayairam Namamam. Om Swahairam Narayanayairam Namamam. Om Bhurabhuva Swahairam Anantayairam Namamam. Sorry. Tend to the fire a little bit. Now, the divine masculine. Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swahairam Krishnayairam Namama. Remember, each swaha, yourself, in your mind, offer flowers into the fire. You want to make this sanskar, this impression, these energies upon your consciousness as well. And it even happens even though you're not here. But you must put your intention in that offering that you give. Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swahairam Krishnayairam Namamam. Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swahairam Krishnayairam Namama. Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swahairam Krishnayairam Namama. Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swahairam Krishnayairam Namama. Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama Om He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantan Namostute Swaha Idam Krishna Idam Namama. And that was for Krishna, the Divine Masculine. Now we'll switch to Radha, the Divine Feminine, and the energies in between. Om Bhur Swaha Idam Vishnavedam Namamam Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Achyutayedam Namamam Om Swa Swaha Idam Narayanaydam Namamam Om Bhurbhuva Swa Swaha Idam Anantayedam Namamam. Now we go to the feminine, Radha, Sri Radha. Also, if you know these mantras, the one I just chanted or the one I'm about to chant now, be sure to chant along with me as you meditate on either Krishna, Radha, and the combined Radha Krishna. So if you know the mantras, by all means chant with me. If you don't, perfectly fine, just focus on Swaha and make that offering of a flower into the fire. Got a bit of a hungry fire today. Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Idam Radhikayedam Namamam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swahairam Radhikayairam Namam Om Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Swahairam Radhikayairam Namam Om Bhur Swahairam Vishnavairam Namam Om Bhuva Swahairam Achitayairam Namam Om Swahairam Narayanayaram Namam Om Bhurabhuva Swahairam Anantay Namam. Alright, so we made offerings for the masculine, we made offerings for the feminine, and of all the energies in between. Now we're going to combine them in the bhakti mantra. So this is the divining the masculine, the feminine, all the energies in between, Radha Krishna, to bring about pure love and to make that impression, the energies of pure love within our consciousness and bring about that within our lives. Remember, Svaha, make that offering, that conscious offering to Radha Krishna to bring about that impression of those energies of bhakti. To be honest with you, this smells incredibly wonderful. Actually, the aroma from the wood is incredibly nice. This is something you really have to experience live, if you will. Be that as it may. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Idam Radha Krishna Bhyamiram Namam. Om Bhuva Swaha, Idam Vishnavairam Namam. Om Bhuva Swaha, Idam Achitayairam Namam. Om Swaha, Idam Narayanayaram Namam. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha, Idam Anantayairam Namam. So that is essentially the completion of the Radha Krishna Bhakti, Prema Bhakti Yajna. So at this point what I do is to allow for the fire to extinguish itself. I never put it out. I generally go into sharing some stories on Radha Krishna Leela or Paratasarati Leela while we have the fire extinguish itself. I'm not going to do that. This is already more than an hour long, this video. I'm going to have to cut some pieces out to try to shrink it. But what you've experienced now is essentially being two yogyas, the Paratasarati Havan and the Radha Krishna Prema Bhakti Yajna. You have within your own mind offered oblations of a flower upon each swaha into the fire, so that these impressions, these sanskars of these energies are impressed upon one's own consciousness. So again, I do these at yogya studios, at kirtan events, yoga events, quite often in people's private homes. They want to bring about energies within their own home. I do it there as well. So if you're interested in having such a yogya in your own home or at your event, in your yoga studio, let me know and we shall arrange for that. Hari Hari.